huge moment for our island. Speaking of, we have another friend joining us in the KUM News Zoom room, getting up early to bring you some of the amazing stuff that she is doing with the Ina Wellness Collective organization. She is a business person. She is a coach. She is a inspirer. And if that word doesn't exist, I just made it up. She is our friend, Olivia Murati. Good morning, Olivia.
Good morning. Wow, what an introduction.
And I don't think you exactly put, on your LinkedIn profile, I'm also the guy that got Jason Salas to wear spandex and do yoga. But if you want to, I would be more than happy to endorse you. That was a fantastic session, just let me say.
That was definitely fun, super fun. Thanks for being open to doing it.
No, not at all. I mean, I felt tremendous afterwards. I mean, and honestly, I'm okay. No kidding. I monitor all my vitals with Fitbit, and I exercise regularly. My heart rate and my stress level has been consistently down after that. And we only did that for 3 minutes.
Yeah. I love it. The power of yoga.
Exactly. And it made a difference. And, of course, we were doing this in a TV studio. So we've got the lights. We're both wearing microphones. We got a couple guys running around telling us when to talk and when to shut up and everything like that. But I really felt that sense of calm and of peace. So I can only imagine the kind of centering, the kind of balance that people would experience when they take advantage of an event like yours that's coming up with the full moon flow. So please tell me all about that, because I've done yoga at various times of the day. I've never done it at twilight. I can only imagine how much of an amazing experience that must be.
Yeah, so we started the Full Moon Flow events last year, and this year we moved it to the Guam Museum. So it's in the Guam Museum atrium space, which is a beautiful, outdoor, open, covered space. And so we host it every month on the full moon, so the day changes depending on when the full moon is.
So this is right between the main entrance and the theaters?
Yeah, it's the atrium space. It's on the second floor, and it's covered, but it's still outdoors.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah. You get the nice
really
island breeze.
It kind of looks like a yoga studio. When I first saw this space, I was like, wow, this is perfect for what we're looking to do. So we have a yoga class. We started off with a yoga class, and then we have a crystal sound bowl. So we end with a sound bath, if you've ever experienced one of those. And then we also have a little tea station set up after. So the events all year have been selling out pretty quick. People seem to really love to want to flow on the full moon, want to get together with our sort of yoga community, and they leave. A lot of people will text me the next day saying that they slept really well also. So I feel like it's getting you ready to go into a restful sleep as well.
Very nice. Oh, okay. Now, if you want to take melatonin, if you need some help getting to sleep, that's cool and everything. But I would absolutely endorse Olivia and her full moon flow. So what does it mean, on Guam, Olivia, to do that kind of thing again? Because that time of the day, the sun's finally down. The air isn't as thick and as dense. You get the stars just coming out, and as you said, the moon is right there, and you're doing it amongst people that you may not know, but you're all doing it together, so you get the sense of community, and you're among friends.
Of course, yeah. I think that's a big piece of why people come to these events too, right? Yes, they might want to try yoga. Maybe it's good for their mindset or their mental health or physical health, but a big piece of it is you start to come and see the same people, and you start to come and make friends, and you have this sort of sense of community where it's now starting to be a more familiar ritual for people, where they're like, yep, monthly full moon, and I see a lot of people come back each month, so it's on their calendar for the coming months ahead too.
Okay, now you and I were talking about this when you came on the show, right? Because of course a lot of people, even for people that aren't regularly into the practice of yoga, they know about sun salutations, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do when you're actually doing yoga after sundown?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, oftentimes there's different parts of yoga. Some of the poses will be more energizing, and then some of the poses will be more relaxing, or kind of they'll be more on the relaxing side. When we do the full moon flow yoga, I'll typically have a theme, so it'll be based off whatever the astrological sign is for that month related to the moon. But then we'll also just focus on really having basically not overstimulating our nervous system and doing a ton of sun salutations and getting really sweaty, but there'll be sort of that balance of making sure that at the end people are feeling restful and ready to go into the rest of their evenings. I teach a lot in the evening as well, like even during the week, and the class is a little bit different, right? If you come to a morning class, people are more looking to wake up and energize. And an evening class, maybe people are coming from work, so they do want to kind of de-stress, but overall they know that they're going to be sleeping in a few hours, so they want to relax going into the night.
Yeah, I would think this would be a perfect way to, end your day, because, a lot of us, we're coming off of 2 years of a crazy pandemic. So this is a perfect way to kind of like, wind down, kind of like, get focused, achieve that balance and everything like that. And then, kind of almost prepare for the next day.
Exactly. And a lot of people who are at desks all day, they're always like, that was great for my shoulders, that was great for my neck, that was great for my hips. So it is a nice way to just shake up the body, especially if you have a job where you're a little bit more stable throughout the day.
Okay, now, Olivia, I want to know, because at Ina Wellness Collective, it's, you guys do a variety of things. You guys have retreats, you guys organize these events, your yoga practice is well documented. And make sure to everybody, we got the link up right now. Check out inawellnesscollective.com/events. You can check out all of the wonderful things that Olivia and her team are putting together. But talk about yoga as a family event, because I'm thinking especially for these, the full moon flow, that's when kids are out of school, especially with the one that's coming up. The next event, even though it's sold out, is on Easter Sunday, right? So this is, do you get like a lot of families coming together, both parents and children?
Yeah, I do. I do get quite a few like mother-daughter pairs coming together, sisters, family events. Like people bring their kids, even to my normal, Wednesday yoga class. I'll have people bring, or I'll see people bring their kids, and they'll just sort of post up in the mat next to them. Also to the retreats. I think the youngest person on a retreat I've had is 13. And they came along with their mom just this past one I had. So it's definitely, I teach kids yoga as well. I love teaching kids yoga. I'm actually more nervous to teach kids than adults, because kids are, they'll say anything and do anything, and it's always a fun experience because they really say the truth all the time, right? So it's great to bring kids to yoga. They love the breathing. They love the active side of it. And it's also a great, example to see families doing it together. So definitely family friendly.
It also is character building because, like a lot of youngsters, they may either think like, oh, there's nothing I can't do physically, like I'm in the prime of my fitness, right? Or some kids are still developing, their confidence, and they're like, oh, I can't do that, like I could not hold that pose in front of, people I don't know. But then they get through this, and through their body and through their mind, they're passing a hurdle, and they're actually gaining that inner confidence, right?
Definitely. I would love to see, yoga, mindfulness, meditation part of our school curriculums, or part of summer camps, or part of, that's how we make the change and the ripple effect over time. So.
Absolutely agree. Okay, I was going to talk about, with the flip side, doing yoga for our older generation and for the Manumko. But real quick, since you brought up yoga in schools, are you seeing a lot of student athletes at the various levels, like high school, college? Are they coming out too? Because if yoga was available to me when I was in college, and I was playing volleyball all the time, my body probably would have been in a much more tuned way than it was. I mean, I was in shape way long ago, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I actually, for the last beginner yoga series I had, I had some people that were high school football players that were, getting ready and wanting to try it, right? Because now it's more common. Athletes are talking about it. People are talking about how it supplements what they're doing in their training. So definitely see more athletes. Also, it's there's a lot of yoga poses that are even really great for surfers, for example. So yoga for surfers, yoga for athletes, yoga for runners, yoga for golfers. I did my yoga teacher training with someone who was like just really into golf and wanted to go through yoga teacher training. So it is really you can translate it and create a yoga sequence depending on maybe what parts of the body you use in different sports.
Okay, we're totally gonna get you on a podcast to talk about like yoga for surfing and yoga for golf. No, I mean that's perfect because it in those two sports, timing, balance, position, patience, these are all things that determine how well you do at those sports. So I totally see that.
Definitely.
Okay, now how about for the Manumko, Olivia? Are you seeing like a lot of older people come out and either wanting to try it or saying, this has benefited my life in so many positive ways, and they advocate for it?
Yes, definitely. And I think that, a lot of people, I always advise people if they're coming to my class or even to any class, if you're working with an injury or if you had something that's happened with your body before, to let the teacher know, right? So I have people come up to me and say, oh yeah, my knee or my hip, or I'm working on this, or something happened with my wrist. So they'll kind of tell me like, this is what's happening with my body. Something I used to see quite a bit when I lived in California before, it was senior yoga. They called it golden hour, and they did chair yoga. And so everything was on a chair, and you can use different props. You can use straps, blocks, like all the different yoga props, and everything can be done on a chair. So you can really do it at any age, starting from kids all the way to seniors. So.
Yeah. Well, a former high school classmate of mine, really good buddy, played sports all through high school, and he went into the Army, and he was a paratrooper for 25 years, and he goes, I do yoga now because I was in the prime of my fitness when I served, but because I was jumping out of planes all the time, I've got a couple ankle issues. I hurt my knee a couple times and everything, and that's just the nature of the business. But he goes, yoga is so wonderful for keeping me in shape and really almost doing rehabilitation for the injuries he's had.
Definitely. I mean, that's how I found yoga. I was a dancer before, and then I had a knee injury, and yoga was how I found, where I found it through my injury and was wanting to still be able to move. And then I fell in love with it and now teach. So it definitely can come through. And a lot of people have something going on with their body, right? A lot of knee issues, a lot of wrists, a lot of, shoulder injuries. So it's definitely a nice approachable way to still, keep that physical activity consistent.
Sure. Okay. Last use case, I swear, because, but I'm thinking of all these different ways. What about people that are, you might get new mothers who said, okay, I just gave birth to triplets and everything, but I want to get back in shape, or, my body's still adjusting, or people that are post-operative in a variety of ways.
Yeah, definitely. I would say I get both into my classes. I have a couple women coming to my classes recently that are pregnant, right? So that is also something to always tell a teacher.
I didn't even think about that, or they're expecting.
Modifications to take, right? You don't necessarily want to be down on your stomach. You don't want to be making big twists, or there are certain modifications that you'll make for when you're pregnant, but then also postnatal as well. So you want to make sure that you're just letting your teacher know. But I see that quite a bit, and it's a great way on both sides to be able to focus on the breath, to de-stress, and just to kind of have that connection to yourself. I was saying this in my classes this week. This definition of yoga that was given to me recently was yoga is the practice of present moment awareness. So it's like constantly coming back to the present moment all throughout the class, and that is super powerful, being able to do that even for an hour throughout the day.
Okay, so I know everybody watching this right now is joining me and saying, like, okay, we're in. Like I said, the next class coming up, the full moon flow for April, is on Easter Sunday. However, that one's sold out, but when can we register, and when can we partake of your classes? Because they just sound so amazing on so many levels.
So on our next full moon flow is going to be on May 16th, and I always go on sale with tickets on the 1st of the month. So for May and June and future months, it'll always be on the 1st of the month. So you can get tickets on May 1st. For those of you who have never tried yoga before, you're like, I have no idea, I've never taken a class, I'm kind of intimidated, I don't know where to start. I am going to be hosting a beginner yoga workshop on May 28th in collaboration with Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness and Guam Time. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And this is also going to be one of the first Eno Wellfest warm-up events. So for those of you who want to try yoga at Eno Wellfest that comes up in June but don't know where to begin, this is the perfect event. It's going to be over at Two Lovers Point as well. I've been wanting to host an event there since I moved back.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm so excited.
Take my money, please, Livia.
Sunset yoga on a Saturday, late afternoon into evening, beginner yoga workshop. It's going to be really fun. So that's May 28th, and tickets go on sale today, actually. So you can get tickets on Guam Time, also on my website.
Very cool. Okay, you touched on the mental health aspect, and that's something that honestly I've never even considered. But we've talked to this point about people with health afflictions or certain conditions and everything. But what about people that are going through something like mentally, like mental health is so broad of a spectrum right now, and especially coming off the pandemic, a lot of us dealt with some pretty heavy stuff. Can people turn to yoga if they're still feeling anxious, depressed, nervous, confused in any way, or or they're going through something internally?
Absolutely. So yoga is definitely one of those tools. Yoga, breath work, meditation, a mindful practice, journaling. All of these are tools that people can bring into their mental health self-care, I guess, So a lot of people that are dealing with depression, anxiety, sleep issues, stress management, all of that is something that yoga can be a tool for, right? Maybe not the only tool, but it can be one of the tools. And between yoga, meditation, and breath work, combining all the three of those, which I try to do throughout all my classes, is just a way for people to connect with themselves and just notice, how do I feel? How does my body feel? How does my mind feel? And that's a question that I'm posing quite a bit throughout my classes as well.
That is fantastic. Okay. And you were just talking about, your introductory class. I mean, there's a lot of people who are going to say, okay, do I have to be like Jason when you came on KUAM's Hotspot? Do I have to buy, leggings or spandex? What kind of socks do I wear? I'm not kind of sure, do I have to buy the pro level Nike mat, or can I just, have a towel? There are going to be people with 1,000 different questions.
For sure. So I provide all the yoga mats. You don't need to go out and buy a mat. If you love yoga after, you can get a really, cheap mat, maybe at Ross. You can also just use a towel. A lot of people use, will just bring a towel as well. But I will provide all the mats, so no need for that. In terms of what to wear, it's really just something comfortable that you can stretch in, right? I wouldn't show up in jeans or tight pants or anything, or you don't have to wear socks. Most people do it barefoot. You can if you'd like, but
I even asked you that when you came on the show. I said, if I wear socks, is that disrespectful to to the practicer?
No. You can wear whatever you want as long as you're comfortable. Some people will wear just kind of like running shorts and a tank top. Some people will wear more comfortable, loose fitting pants. Some people wear their Lululemons, whatever it might be. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you wear as long as you're comfortable and you can move.
I mean, if you want to go all yoga couture and everything like that, that's totally up to you. I mean,
it's up to you. Like, you can wear the outfit if you want, or you can just wear, something that you would wear to move or go for a walk.
Very good. And that is kind of the point, Livia, and you're really educating our community, and that is, yoga is for everybody, and
Yes.
and everybody should consider it and should practice it at some point, because it only does your mind, your body, and your spirit good.
Yeah, definitely. And just break the mold that you have to look a certain way or be a certain way to do yoga. There's a lot of people, all different people are coming and trying yoga, all ages. And so we're starting building a movement here on Guam and growing the yoga community. So.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, so the link is right here. So make sure to hit that URL and check out Livia's site at inawellnesscollective.com. Register for one of her events, because she is doing really, really amazing stuff. And again, the May Full Moon Flow classes go on sale on the 1st, right, Livia?
Yes.
Okay, so make sure to register for that. I cannot imagine anything more amazing than doing yoga, again, when the moon is out, the stars are out, you're over there at the Guam Museum.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
The only thing that would trump that is maybe doing yoga, like you said, at sundown over at Two Lovers Point. I'm kind of torn now. I don't know.
I know. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to go there to do an event there since I got back.
So you know what? Do both. Split the difference. All right, Livia, thank you so much, and happy Easter to you and your family once again.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right, we appreciate it. So make sure to check out that site, everybody. That's Olivia, a member of the Link family and someone who's doing really, really good things for Guam. I'll tell you what, our guy Victorious is going to join us right now, because it is Friday.